Ever checked your bank account after booking a flight and wondered, how did that single click just cost me hundreds? If yes, you aren't alone. In 2025, flight booking is practically a minefield. Airlines have gotten smarter, third-party websites are sneakier, and just one wrong move can cost you days, dollars, and trust in the entire travel system. But today, that ends here. In fact, by the end of this script, you'll be armed with insider moves that airlines hope you'll never discover, and you'll never again overpay for a ticket or fall for the most common traps. Buckle up, because here are the 11 flight booking mistakes bleeding travelers dry this year, and exactly how to outsmart them. Let's not waste time. Mistake number 1. Trusting the first price you see. That bright blinking deal screaming at you? It's bait. Airlines use dynamic pricing, meaning that every time you search, the price could spike. Sometimes it's your own browser giving you away, tracking your searches and convincing you prices are rising, so you'll book in a panic. The fix? Swap to incognito mode and clear cookies before each search. Smart travelers rarely pay the first price, and neither should you. Right now, incognito is the travel hacker's best friend. Second mistake, booking anywhere except the airline's official website. Maybe you spotted a slightly cheaper deal on a big-name aggregator or one of those exclusive discount sites with a countdown clock. But stop. Third-party sites are notorious for hidden fees, messy cancellations, and customer service black holes. Picture this. Your plans change, but because you didn't book direct, you're trapped in a days-long email saga, possibly losing the entire fare. And perks like seat upgrades or airline credit often disappear. Here's the golden rule for 2025. Always price shop on aggregators, but once you find your flight, close every other tab and finish the booking on the airline's own page. That one habit saves more people from travel disasters than any coupon code ever could. Now let's talk about the third, falling for the Tuesday myth. Heard the book on Tuesday at 1 p.m. trick? It's outdated. Airlines now update fares multiple times a day using algorithms based on demand, not day of the week. Chasing a magical booking day just risks missing real deals. Instead, be flexible with your travel dates and check flights leaving on Tuesdays and Wednesdays because fewer people fly on those days, meaning prices usually dip, not because of when you book, but because of when you fly. Here's the fourth mistake, ignoring positioning flights. Ever found that flying direct is outrageously expensive, but a flight to a nearby city is way cheaper? That's where positioning flights come in. Book a cheap flight to a major hub, then snag a budget hop to your final destination. Sure, it takes a little more time, but when that extra stop could save you $300 or more, it's a power move the travel pros use on nearly every international trip. Just give yourself extra time between connections. No one likes sprinting through airports or missing flights. On to mistake 5, and this one is brutal, booking impossibly short layovers. You found 2 tickets with just a 30-minute gap and think, perfect, less airport boredom. Here's the reality. If flights are on separate tickets, the airline owes you nothing if you're late. You could be stranded, forced to buy a whole new fare, or worse, miss a dream event or cruise. Always check minimum connection times for your airport and leave breathing room, especially if bags must be rechecked or must go through passport control. Let's catch mistake 6, not triple-checking passenger info. One typo in your name or passport details, and you might not be allowed on the plane. Even worse, airlines can charge steep fees or force you to buy a new ticket just to fix a simple error. Slow down before hitting book. Verify your info matches your passport exactly and screenshot your booking confirmation immediately, just in case that confirmation email goes missing. 7th mistake, paying for upgrades and add-ons you'll never use. Want to board early? Extra legroom? travel insurance you already get with your credit card? Airlines love to pile on extras at checkout, pre-selecting add-ons with checkboxes you barely notice. Before you click through, read every line. Untick what you don't need and double-check with your credit card or existing traveler perks before buying protection or lounge passes. The average traveler overpays by at least $50 per booking just by skipping this step. Eighth, forgetting to collect airline miles. Even if you don't fly often, those points add up. Skipping the airline's rewards number at checkout is like shredding free cash. Register for frequent flyer programs, even if you think, "I'll never hit a free flight." In a few trips, you might be cashing in for upgrades, priority boarding, or even cool gift cards. 5 seconds spent filling in that box could net you hundreds over a few years. Don't tune out. The next mistake is sneaky. Mistake number 9, not comparing one-way and round-trip fares. Airlines have changed the game. Sometimes 2 one-way tickets are cheaper than a round trip or vice versa. Always check both. Some budget airlines only show up as one-way prices on aggregators, so that extra step can save you hundreds and score you better times for your schedule. Let's hit the 10th mistake, not confirming your booking details. It seems obvious. The airline sends you a confirmation, and you think you're done. But glitches happen. Emails get caught in spam, names are misspelled, dates or airports are incorrect, and seats may suddenly not be available. Within 5 minutes of booking, double-check your inbox and spam, log in to the airline's Manage Booking page, and verify everything is correct. If you're missing a confirmation, act fast. Waiting could mean expensive rebooking fees or, worse, losing your trip entirely. And finally, mistake 11, the deal destroyer. Booking too early or too late. Both can bleed your wallet dry. If you book too far in advance, say more than 6 months, the airline knows only the super planners are shopping, so deals are rare. Wait until a few months before, and sales often emerge. But wait too long, and last-minute fares are usually sky high. The sweet spot is usually 2 to 3 months before domestic flights, and 3 to 4 months for international trips. Set up price alerts and check regularly. Once you see a good deal, grab it. Playing chicken with flight prices almost never ends well. Now, bonus, here's a mistake that deserves its own spotlight: not checking airport codes and details. In cities with multiple airports, booking into the wrong one can mean a surprise taxi bill or missing a connection because you didn't realize you needed to transfer across town. Double-check everything. Sometimes a deal is no deal if it dumps you 2 hours from your hotel or your connecting flight. But the next mistake is even sneakier: booking through currency mismatches. Sometimes switching the website from your home country's currency to the local currency where the airline is based can shave off dozens, sometimes hundreds, just in conversion rates and pricing quirks. This is especially true when booking from international locations, so always check if the airline's own version of their site offers a better rate. It feels like wizardry, but it's just understanding how global pricing algorithms work against you unless you fight back. Here's another: booking group tickets all at once. Many airline sites show the highest available fare for the entire group, even if cheaper seats are available for smaller quantities. Try searching for one ticket, note the price, then slowly add more. If fares rise, you'll know how many cheap seats are left, and you can still book the remainder at the next best fare. Mix and match if you must. Splitting bookings can mean huge savings if you're organizing a friend's getaway or family trip. And let's not forget the mistake of using debit cards or non-reward methods for booking. Some credit cards not only give you travel rewards and points, but also add layers of protection, from trip cancellation coverage to lost luggage insurance. That no-fee debit card might save you on transaction costs now, but cost you more if anything goes wrong with your booking. If you do nothing else, always use a card with real traveler perks. Now, for a cautionary tale, Never assume low cost means lowest total price. Ultra-budget carriers lure you in with flash sale fares, but then slug you with giant baggage fees, tiny seat pitches, and even fees for printing your boarding pass at the airport. Before booking those rock-bottom tickets, read the fine print. Add up all potential fees and compare the total to a full-service airline. You might be shocked which one actually comes out cheaper. Mistake number 16, not using flight alerts. In 2025, there's no excuse for missing a deal. Tools like Google Flights, Skyscanner, and Hopper let you track fares and alert you when prices dip. Set alerts on every potential route, activate push notifications, and when a miracle deal appears, act fast. Deals disappear in hours, sometimes minutes, once they go viral. Now, let's talk about layover locations. Beware multi-airport connections. Booking a journey that requires you to transfer between two airports in a massive city, like London or New York, can add transit chaos, new transport costs, and a high likelihood of missing your connection. It might also mean rechecking bags and facing a second round of security. Avoid these unless you have a full day between flights. Another pain point, booking without checking passport and visa requirements. We've all heard the horror stories. Bags packed, airport ready, and only at check-in do you realize your passport is about to expire or you need a visa for your layover. Airlines rarely issue refunds for these mistakes, so double-check every rule way before you even start searching. Here's an often overlooked danger. Booking without reading recent reviews of both the airline and your flight's aircraft. Planes may get swapped at the last minute, but a quick review scan can warn you about unusually cramped seats, repeated delays, or problematic budget carriers who play games with baggage policies. Sometimes, spending $20 more to fly a reliable, on-time airline saves you 10 times that in headaches. And a mistake for the digitally distracted, forgetting to screenshot every part of your booking process and keep important details offline. If your phone dies, Wi-Fi fails, or your email vanishes just when you need your ticket number at check-in, you're in trouble. Save confirmation codes, flight numbers, and customer service lines in your notes and as screenshots. Now, have you ever ignored the fine print on non-refundable tickets? You're not alone. In reality, airlines frequently offer partial credits or waivers, especially in cases of illness or family emergencies, if you ask. Always call and plead your case before chalking up a change in plans as a total loss. You might save hundreds or even get a full credit for a future flight. Next, not checking for package deals. Sometimes adding a hotel or rental car unlocks deep discounts on flights, especially during promotional periods. Don't just click past those combinational offers. If you need both, try toggling them on and off in your search and compare prices. The savings can be shocking. The world of flight booking in 2025 demands vigilance and flexibility. The right hack, the right minute, the right attitude, and you're a booking ninja. But get lazy, just once, and you could be tossing hundreds out the airplane window. Every mistake here is avoidable. Always start your searches fresh. Verify every little detail, trust direct bookings, set up alerts, and use every tool at your disposal. Picture it. You, relaxing at 35,000 feet, knowing you paid less than anyone else on board, skipped every pitfall, and have more cash in your pocket for adventures at your destination. All because you booked smarter. Next time you shop for flights, make these moves automatic. Outsmart the airlines. Travel better. Trick 1. The hotel parking loophole no one talks about. Some of the smartest travelers aren't parking at the airport at all. They're parking near it, at airport hotels that offer what most people overlook, long-term parking packages. And here's the kicker. There's no need to book a room. Many hotels, even big brands, let travelers reserve a parking spot in their lot, often bundled with a free shuttle to and from the terminal. The prices? Sometimes half of what the airport charges. The shuttles? Often faster and less crowded than the airport's own. Travelers looking to save more are scanning aggregator sites like Spot Hero, Park Sleep Fly, or even calling hotels directly. The trick is knowing that these deals exist because they're not always advertised at the check-in counter or on the hotel's homepage. It's the kind of move that looks subtle from the outside, just a car sitting in a parking lot. But behind it is a traveler who walked away from the terminal with $100 still in their wallet and a seat on a private shuttle that skipped the traffic loop. Trick 2. The secret economy lots right off airport grounds. Just beyond the airport perimeter, often within a 5 to 10 minute radius, sit lots that don't belong to the airport. They're private, fast, and priced like someone finally realized travelers don't want to pay $30 a day to leave a car behind. Here's what makes these off-site lots a game changer. The shuttles don't loop endlessly. They run direct. Some even track your return flight to time their pickups. And here's something even savvier travelers know. Some of these lots include premium perks like covered parking, valet service, luggage help, and even a car wash, all while undercutting airport prices by 40 to 60%. They're rarely on the big signs at the freeway exit, but they're easy to book online. Some travelers now default to these hidden economy lots without even checking the airport's official rates. Trick 3. Departures level rideshare drop-off hack. In the chaos of peak travel hours, one small shift can save a chunk of time and money. Instead of getting picked up at arrivals, smart travelers switch it up. Here's why. Rideshare surge pricing often kicks in based on crowd density and location. The lower-level arrival zone can become a gridlocked trap, but the upper-level departures area, that's where the flow is faster, especially at pickup. Drivers love it too. Less congestion, faster pickups, shorter waits. In many airports, this one shift, simply requesting pickup at departures instead of arrivals, can drop a rideshare fare by 20 to 30% and cut wait times by half. All it takes is standing at the right curb. Trick 4. Why booking airport parking? Last minute is a trap. Drive-up parking is where airports make their margin. The posted rates look like a convenience, but they're often 30 to 50% higher than what's available online for the exact same spot. And yet, thousands of travelers still roll up without a plan. Booking parking in advance doesn't just secure a better rate, it guarantees availability, especially during holiday rushes or major travel weekends. There's nothing worse than showing up at a full garage, circling frantically, and realizing the only option left is the premium lot right next to the terminal, the one that charges by the hour. The fix is simple. Set a parking alert for the same day the flight is booked. That 10-minute decision can save $100 over the course of a week-long trip. The reason this matters more now than ever is because airport lots are shifting toward dynamic pricing. That means the closer it gets to departure day, the more expensive it becomes, just like airline tickets. And these price hikes don't show up on signs. They show up on your credit card statement when it's too late to turn back. Weekday mornings? Higher. Holiday weekends? Surged. Even weather forecasts can affect pricing, with storm delays causing backup traffic and full lots days in advance. Some travelers are finding that even when garages look open, they're closed to new drive-ups, reserved entirely for prepaid spots. It's like trying to join a club after it's already full. The best prepared travelers use price watch tools and parking apps to track trends across multiple lots. Some apps even show live availability, letting users reserve on the spot and skip the lot full signs entirely. Certain airports also offer loyalty discounts for repeat parkers, but only through online reservations, never at the kiosk. It's become less about finding space and more about locking it in before the scramble starts. And for those flying out early or coming home late, pre-booked parking can even grant access to better lit, more secure lots with closer access. What used to be a last-minute errand is now part of the travel plan, as important as checking in or printing a boarding pass. Travelers are learning that planning parking is less about the car and more about the clock, because the minutes lost circling for a space often cost more than the dollars saved by skipping the reservation. Trick 5. Free shuttles hiding in plain sight. There's an entire network of shuttles that most travelers don't know exists. They're not run by the airport or the airlines. They're operated by local municipalities, business districts, and even shopping centers. In some cities, suburban park and ride lots offer free or ultra-low-cost airport shuttles, not as a tourist service, but to reduce congestion at terminals. And they're open to anyone. Some travelers park at a local mall or transit station, completely free, then take a commuter bus or train that drops off right at the terminal doors. It feels like a hack, but it's actually part of the infrastructure. These aren't sketchy vans either. They're often clean, predictable, and run on tight schedules because they're designed for commuters. The trick is checking the city's transit website or asking locals where they park and ride. Trick 6. Drop off at the rental car return lot. During peak hours, the airport drop-off loop becomes a slow-moving headache. But one area often gets overlooked: the rental car return zone. Most of these lots have their own dedicated shuttle to the terminal, designed to move people fast. And guess what? These shuttles are usually open air, free to ride and run every few minutes. So travelers getting dropped off by friends or ride shares are now requesting to be dropped at the rental lot instead of fighting for curb space at departures. It cuts the traffic, skips the crowd, and often gets them inside faster. It's the same road, but a different stop. And that single decision can save 20 minutes or more in airport gridlock. Trick 7. Turn parking into passive income with peer-to-peer rentals. Instead of paying for parking, some travelers are flipping the script completely and getting paid to leave their car at the airport. Apps like Turo and HireCar allow private car owners to rent their vehicles while traveling. The result? Travelers drop their car off, fly out, and come back to a parking receipt that's negative. As in, someone else used the car and now there's money in the account. Some even use airport valet partners who handle the handoff and ensure the car is cleaned before pickup and drop-off. Of course, this approach isn't for everyone, but for those with insured, well-maintained vehicles, it's turning airport parking from a cost center into a side hustle. Trick 8. Train station parking and the commuter advantage. Instead of parking at the airport, seasoned travelers are heading to commuter rail stations, often in suburbs or satellite towns, where all-day parking can cost just a few dollars. From there, a quick train ride connects directly to the airport terminal. The move isn't just about cost, it's about predictability. No shuttle delays, no traffic backups, no endless circling for a spot. Some of the savviest travelers even choose their departure airport based on this advantage, flying from hubs with rail-linked access just to skip the mess entirely. It's not a workaround, it's a strategy, and it's catching on fast. Trick 9. Credit card perks that pay for parking, but most forget to use. Premium travel cards often come loaded with hidden perks, and one of them is airport parking discounts or even full reimbursement. But here's the twist. Most cardholders don't activate them. Some airline-branded cards partner with specific lots and offer 10 to 25% off, while others include airport lounge access that comes with validated parking. A few even offer statement credits if parking is booked through a linked portal. This isn't theoretical. It's free money if it's used. Savvy travelers are now checking their card benefit dashboards before they even book their flight, looking for those overlooked perks that can wipe out parking fees completely. Trick 10. Curbside drop for bags, not just check-in. In many airports, curbside baggage drop isn't just about skipping the check-in line. It's about unlocking fast access to the curb when parking or rideshare isn't available. Some travelers use this trick to get to the front fast. They drop bags curbside with an airline agent, then loop back to park farther away or return a rental. Even without a porter, the curbside lane is often less congested and more responsive, especially helpful for families, heavy luggage, or last-minute scrambles. It's not about skipping steps, it's about sequencing them in the smartest way possible. Trick 11. The shared shuttle trick between neighboring hotels. Here's something most travelers don't realize. Many airport hotels share shuttles with their neighbors. If one hotel charges $14 per night for parking and the hotel next door charges $7, the instinct is to think the cheaper one doesn't offer a shuttle, but often they do. It's the same van. Hotel shuttles frequently loop between several properties owned by the same management group. So travelers who park at the cheaper hotel next door are still boarding the exact same shuttle, running on the exact same schedule. The savings? Easy. The convenience? Identical. The only difference is who knew to ask. Trick 12. Flight plus parking bundles that slash rates behind the scenes. Some travel booking sites offer something almost hidden. Bundle rates that include flight, hotel, and airport parking, but they're buried in the filters. These bundles aren't always advertised as such. Sometimes it's a hotel near the airport that includes 7 days of free parking with a single night stay. Sometimes it's a flight deal that includes a parking voucher, just for choosing a certain route or airline. Travelers who dig a little deeper, or who book through travel agencies, often discover they've secured a week of parking for free just by using a different link. It's not about clicking more. It's about knowing where the real offers hide. Some packages even include breakfast and shuttle priority, quietly bundled under names like Park and Fly or Fly and Sleep. Others offer flexible cancellation, a crucial safety net for early morning flights that might get moved. On third-party sites, sorting by amenities or parking filters often surfaces these bundles, but only if the right checkbox is selected. Travelers skipping that step might scroll right past the best deal. Hotels near major hubs know travelers are looking for these perks, so the smart ones quietly include them, but only when demand is low. Late-night bookings and off-season dates often reveal the biggest savings. Some hotel chains even match bundle rates if asked directly, bypassing third-party fees. That means a quick phone call can unlock a lower price than what's shown online. Experienced travelers also look for promo codes tied to specific airports: LAX, JFK, ATL, each with its own seasonal offers. Some bundles even offer extra perks like double rewards points or loyalty upgrades, all hidden behind plain-looking rates. The trick is understanding that what looks standard might be anything but. Even the room description sometimes hides the free parking line under the Details tab, where most people never click. Sites like Priceline, Orbitz, and Hotels.com occasionally flash bundle savings banners for only a few hours before reverting to standard pricing. Catching those requires setting up alerts or checking during less competitive hours, like 2 a.m. Some travelers even keep a dummy reservation active just to track price changes in real time. And when everything lines up, the flight, the hotel, the parking, it feels less like a lucky break and more like a system quietly working in the background for those paying attention. Every single trick here isn't just about shaving dollars. It's about turning the most annoying, unpredictable part of flying, getting to the terminal and leaving your vehicle, into a system you control. It's about skipping stress, avoiding the crowds, getting to the gate faster, knowing that when the return flight lands at midnight, the car is right where it should be, and not $250 later in a dim garage. These aren't guesses. These are real shifts in how savvy travelers move. Because airport parking shouldn't feel like a punishment for having a car. It should feel like a decision made with strategy, confidence, and way more money left in the pocket. Want more real-world travel tricks that work now? That $89 flight to Miami just cost you $347, and you have absolutely no idea how it happened. Welcome to the most profitable con job in modern travel. While you're celebrating that cheap ticket, airlines are laughing all the way to the bank. They collected over $148 billion in hidden fees last year alone. That's billion with a B. And here's the brutal truth. You're paying for things that used to be included in your ticket price. Seat selection? That'll be $319. Want to bring clothes? Another $70. Need to print your boarding pass? Hand over $200. But here's where it gets interesting. Every single one of these fees is avoidable if you know the system. And today, I'm pulling back the curtain on all 20 hidden charges airlines use to drain your wallet, and more importantly, the exact strategies to dodge every single one. By the end of this video, you'll never overpay for a flight again. Let's start with the biggest money grab of them all, the checked baggage trap. First up, checked baggage fees. In 2025, major airlines like Delta, United, and American charge $35 for your first checked bag and $45 for your second. But here's the kicker. Spirit and Frontier hit you for $50 when you prepay online and nearly double that at the gate. Even Southwest, the last holdout with their bags fly free policy, finally caved in May 2025. Airlines made over $5 billion from baggage fees alone last year. Let that sink in. $5 billion for something that was completely free 2 decades ago. Here's how to beat it. Master the art of packing a personal item. Every airline, and I mean every single one, allows one free personal item that fits under the seat. A properly packed backpack can hold 3 days worth of clothes if you know what you're doing. Roll your clothes instead of folding them. Invest in packing cubes and stick to travel-sized toiletries. This one skill saves most travelers $70 to $140 per round trip. But what if you absolutely must check a bag? The carry-on scam. Here's where it gets sneaky. Budget airlines now charge for carry-on bags too. That roller bag you're used to bringing? Frontier and Spirit want $50 to $60 for that privilege. They're literally charging you to bring your belongings on vacation. The workaround is strategic. Book your baggage online, not at the airport. Airport prices spike dramatically. What costs $30 online becomes $60 at the gate. Airlines bank on procrastination and forgetfulness. Don't give them the satisfaction. And if you travel frequently, get an airline credit card. Most major carriers offer cards that include free checked bags on every flight. If you fly more than twice a year, the math works in your favor, even with the annual fee. The seat selection hustle. Now let's talk about seats. Airlines used to assign you a seat when you bought your ticket. Now they charge up to $319 for the privilege of choosing where you sit. United leads the pack with their $319 fee for extra legroom seats. Spirit charges $299. Delta wants $264. Think about that for a second. You already paid for a ticket. You already have a seat on that plane. But if you want to actually choose that seat, pay up. Here's the insider move. Skip seat selection entirely and set an alarm for exactly 24 hours before your flight. The moment online check-in opens, grab it. You'll get assigned a seat for free. Traveling with someone? You'll likely sit together anyway. Won't be your dream seat, but you'll arrive at the same destination without spending a dime. Alternatively, join the airline's loyalty program. It's free to sign up, and even basic membership often includes free seat selection. You're giving them your email address to save $35. Fair trade, the Priority Boarding Conference. Let's move to priority boarding. Airlines charge $10 to $60 just to let you board the plane a few minutes early. Ryanair wants $6 to $36 depending on your destination. Wizz Air charges up to $55 if you buy at the airport. Here's what they don't tell you. Priority boarding doesn't get you to your destination any faster. You're paying to stand in a different line and sit on the plane longer. That's it. The only time this makes sense is if you're carrying a larger bag and worried about overhead bin space. But here's a better strategy. Check in early online, print your boarding pass at home, and arrive at the gate when boarding begins. You'll get on just fine without paying extra. Change and cancellation fees. Now we're getting into the really expensive territory. Change your flight? That's $999 to $2,999, depending on the airline and timing. Cancel within 3 days of departure? Some airlines charge up to $3,999 or 100% of your airfare, whichever is lower. Miss your flight entirely? That's a no-show penalty, and you lose everything. 100% of your ticket price gone. Here's your defense. Book flexible fares if your plans might change. Yes, they cost more upfront, but they're cheaper than change fees if you need them. Second, set multiple reminders for your flight. Sounds obvious, but people miss flights all the time and lose thousands. Also, many credit cards offer trip protection insurance. Before buying travel insurance from the airline, check if your credit card already covers it. You might be paying twice for the same protection. The printing fee scam. This one is almost offensive in its audacity. Some airlines charge $200 to print your boarding pass at the airport. $200 for a piece of paper that costs them 3 cents. Indigo, SpiceJet, and Go First all tried this scheme until the aviation ministry stepped in and banned it in India in 2022. But internationally, you might still encounter it. The solution is simple. Always do web check-in 24 hours before your flight and save your boarding pass to your phone. If you're old school and prefer paper, print it at home. Never, and I mean never, wait until you get to the airport. Wi-Fi charges. In-flight Wi-Fi seems convenient until you see the price. Emirates charges $9.99 to $19.99 depending on flight length. Virgin Atlantic wants £20.99 for full flight access. You could easily spend more on Wi-Fi than you saved on that budget ticket. Here's the hack. Many airlines offer free Wi-Fi to their loyalty program members or passengers in premium cabins. Southwest gives free Wi-Fi to all Rapid Rewards members. Turkish Airlines provides free Wi-Fi to business class passengers and elite members. If you don't have status, download everything you need before the flight. Movies, work documents, music, podcasts. Your future self will thank you. Food and beverage fees. Remember when airlines served meals? Now they charge $8 to $15 for a sad sandwich and another $7 for a beer. On a 6-hour flight, you could easily spend $50 just staying fed and hydrated. The move here is obvious but effective. Eat before you fly and bring your own snacks. Airport security allows solid foods through the checkpoint. Pack protein bars, nuts, fruit, or sandwiches. Buy an empty water bottle through security and fill it at a fountain. You'll eat better food, save money, and avoid the disappointment of airplane meals. Unaccompanied minor fees. If you're sending a child to fly alone, airlines charge $100 to $150 each way for supervision. American Airlines charges $150. Air India wants $100 to $150 depending on the destination. This is on top of the full adult ticket price the child already pays. The only workaround here is waiting until your child turns 15. Most airlines make this service optional for teenagers 15 and older. Until then, factor this fee into your travel budget or arrange for an adult to accompany them. Pet travel fees. Traveling with your furry friend? That's another fee. Pets under 7 kilograms can travel in the cabin for 7,500 rupees domestically on Air India. Larger pets go in cargo, and you're charged standard excess baggage fees based on the combined weight of your pet and their carrier. If you travel with pets regularly, this adds up fast. Some people choose pet sitters instead because it's actually cheaper than flying with their animal. Run the numbers before booking. Phone booking fees. Want to call the airline to book your ticket instead of using their website? That'll cost you. Many airlines charge service fees for phone bookings. What costs $200 online becomes $230 when you call. The airlines argue they're encouraging you to use their cheaper-to-operate digital channels. Fair enough. But for elderly passengers or people with complex itineraries, this feels like a punishment for needing human help. Book online whenever possible. If you must call, ask the agent to waive the phone booking fee. Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't, but it never hurts to ask. Third-party convenience fees. Speaking of booking fees, third-party sites like Make My Trip, Goibibo, and others charge convenience fees of 10% to 15% on top of the ticket price. You think you're comparison shopping, but you're actually adding another layer of fees. Always compare the final price on the third-party site with booking directly through the airline. Often the airline's website is cheaper when you factor in these convenience fees. Plus, if something goes wrong, dealing directly with the airline is much easier than going through a middleman. Travel insurance. Airlines love to sell travel insurance during checkout. They make it sound essential. Protect your trip for just $75. But here's what they don't mention. That $75 insurance policy might only cover $500 of your trip cost and comes with a dozen exclusions. Before clicking yes on airline travel insurance, check your credit card benefits. Many cards include trip cancellation, interruption, and delay coverage automatically. If you do need extra insurance, comparison shop with dedicated travel insurance companies. You'll often get better coverage for less money. Lounge access fees. Airport lounges look amazing in photos. Comfortable chairs, free food and drinks, peace and quiet. But walk-in access typically costs $35 to $50 per visit in India. Do that twice a month and you're spending over $1,000 a year. Smarter approach. Get a credit card that includes lounge access. Cards like American Express Platinum or many premium travel cards include Priority Pass membership, giving you access to over 1,400 lounges worldwide. If you travel even monthly, this pays for itself immediately. Alternatively, many lounge programs offer day passes at discounted rates if you book in advance rather than walking up to the desk. Sports equipment fees. Taking your golf clubs or bicycle on vacation. Airlines charge handling fees even if your equipment falls within your free baggage allowance. Air India charges $45 internationally plus standard excess baggage fees if you exceed your allowance. Bicycles, surfboards, skis, all hit with these fees. The exception. Some airlines offer free transport for certain sports equipment. Lufthansa carries winter sports equipment free of charge. Turkish Airlines flies your first golf set for free. Check your airline's specific policy before packing. If fees are steep, consider renting equipment at your destination instead. Sometimes it's actually cheaper. Musical instrument fees. Musicians face unique challenges. Small instruments like violins can go in the overhead bin as carry-on, but larger instruments like cellos or guitars require buying an extra seat, which means paying full fare for your cello. Some airlines allow you to check larger instruments as baggage, but you're risking damage to expensive equipment. The safest option is the extra seat purchase, but that could add $200 to $500 to your trip cost. If you travel regularly with instruments, look into airlines with musician-friendly policies. Some offer discounted instrument seat rates. Infant lap fees. Airlines advertise that babies fly free, but that's misleading. Infants under 2 who sit on your lap still trigger fees. Air India charges $1,250 plus taxes domestically. SpiceJet wants $1,750 per sector. Internationally, infant fees are typically 10% of the adult fare plus taxes. On a $1,000 international ticket, you're paying another $100 to $150 for your baby to not have a seat. The only workaround is waiting until your child turns 2. Obviously, not practical advice, but worth knowing the real cost when planning family travel. Early check-in and priority services. Airlines now charge for services that benefit them too. Air India's Zip Ahead service costs $499 to $699 for priority check-in and baggage handling in economy. You're paying to save the airline time by moving through their checkpoints faster. Skip this entirely. Arrive at the airport with adequate time, check in online beforehand, and the regular process works just fine. These fees target business travelers on expense accounts who value time over money. The extra legroom premium. Airlines have gotten creative by designating certain economy seats as premium or extra legroom seats, charging $30 to $150 extra per flight. These are the exact same seats that used to be regular economy. They just put a special label on them. If you're tall or have mobility issues, these fees might be worth it. But for average height passengers, regular economy works fine for most flights under 4 hours. Save your money. The credit card surcharge. Some airlines add a surcharge for paying with credit cards, typically 2% to 3% of your ticket price. On a $500 ticket, that's an extra $15. Look for payment methods that don't carry this surcharge. Debit cards, bank transfers, or digital wallets often avoid these fees. Also, some premium credit cards rebate airline fees, effectively canceling out the surcharge. How airlines get away with it. Here's the uncomfortable truth. In April 2024, the Biden administration passed a rule requiring airlines to show all fees upfront during booking. The airlines sued. A federal appeals court blocked the rule. It remains blocked today. Airlines prefer keeping fees hidden because transparency would cost them $500 million annually, according to DOT estimates. They call transparency requirements burdensome regulation. Translation: we prefer customers don't see the full price until they've committed. Delta made $7 billion from their American Express partnership in 2024. That's more than they made from actually flying planes profitably. The system isn't broken. It's working exactly as designed for airlines. The 2008 financial crisis changed everything. When airlines faced collective losses of $26 billion and oil prices soared to $147 per barrel, carriers desperately needed new revenue streams. What started as emergency measures became permanent business strategy. They discovered they could advertise lower base fares while secretly making up the difference. The bottom line strategy. Here's how to actually beat this system. First, always compare total prices, not just base fares. That means adding up all potential fees before booking. Second, book directly with airlines when possible to avoid third-party markups. Third, join loyalty programs even if you fly rarely. The free benefits often outweigh the spam emails. Fourth, pack strategically to avoid baggage fees. Fifth, use credit cards that offer travel perks and fee waivers. Sixth, check in online exactly 24 hours before departure. Seventh, bring your own food and entertainment. The airlines have spent decades perfecting these fee structures. They employ psychologists and pricing experts to extract maximum revenue from every booking. But armed with this knowledge, you can navigate their system without hemorrhaging money. That $89 ticket doesn't have to become $347. With these strategies, it stays $89. You get to your destination, keep your money, and the airlines don't get to fund their billion-dollar fee revenue off your back. The boarding pass has been printed. The gate is announced. The plane is waiting. But the seat? That one spot you'll occupy for the next few hours of your life? It's the battlefield airlines don't want passengers to understand. Because if everyone knew the secrets behind seat selection, booking a flight would feel more like a heist than a reservation. Let's crack it wide open. The hidden gem, the mythical ultimate seat. Somewhere on every commercial flight, there's one golden seat. Not first class, not economy plus, not even business, just a regular economy seat. Except it isn't. It's the unicorn, the seat that offers the perfect trifecta: legroom, minimal neighbor contact, and relative silence. It usually hides in plain sight. Think aisle seats in a bulkhead row, or center exit row spots on smaller aircrafts where both legs and elbows can breathe. These seats don't always scream luxury, but they whisper comfort. Finding them is an art, but booking them is strategy. Zoom in on the airline seat map. Pay attention to doors, galleys, and lavatories. Ignore any row too close to the back or up front. Comfort isn't about proximity, it's about positioning. And remember, that seat isn't publicized for a reason. Airlines want it overlooked so they can upsell the illusion of premium. Trap row, the infamous last row. It may seem cozy, tucked away at the very back. Some flyers think it's private, hidden, peaceful. That's the trap. The last row is a cruel joke in aviation design. The recline, non-existent, the lavatory wall, inches away from your spine, and every flush, a jet engine's echo right behind your head. Then there's the galley. Flight attendants prepping snacks and whispering stories, all behind your seat for the entire flight. And when turbulence hits, that tail section dances like a washing machine on spin cycle. Motion sickness? That seat's your VIP invitation. And if you're hoping to be first off the plane, forget it. That back row moves last, no matter how fast you unbuckle. Unless you're on duty to protect the lavatory door or craving audio samples of every snack cart bump, avoid it like expired airport sushi. The seat guru play, outsmarting the system. There's a reason some people always seem to snag the good spots, and it's not luck, it's intel. Enter Seat Guru. Type in your flight number, and this free tool spills the secrets the airline seat map won't tell. Which seats have broken recline, which window seats don't actually have windows, which aisle seats have overhead bin access, and which ones are haunted by screaming infants. Seat maps on airline websites are designed to look uniform, standard. But that's a lie. Seat Guru rips off the mask. Learn to decode the map. Avoid seats next to galleys, bassinets, and blocked bins. Know which rows have mystery air vents that freeze your face, or those cursed seats near bathroom clusters that smell like cleaning chemicals and desperation. Knowledge isn't just power, it's legroom. The middle wing magic zone. The great debate between sitting in the front or the back rages on, but both sides have blind spots. The true winner? The middle wing zone. Sitting just behind the wings is like riding in the eye of the storm. That's the aircraft's center of gravity, which means less bouncing when turbulence taps the plane like a toddler with too much sugar. Engines turn into background white noise rather than migraine-inducing thunder, and service often reaches these rows faster than those stuck at the extremes. Want to avoid both the crying baby section up front and the frat party vibe in the back? Aim for that sweet middle. It's where quiet lives, snacks arrive sooner, and knees stay bruise-free. Check-in. The 23-hour power move. Timing is everything. Check in too early, and you're stuck with leftovers, all the good seats gobbled up by early upgraders. Check in too late, and you're wedged into that middle seat of doom beside a stranger who packed tuna for lunch. The magic window? Around 23 hours before takeoff. That's when the system refreshes and often releases unclaimed preferred seats, free of charge. Refresh like a mad genius. Reload the page. Spot an aisle seat? Grab it. A canceled upgrade might slide into view for just a few minutes. This moment is seat warfare, and victory comes to the quick and alert. Think of it as the ticket master of flight seating. Only instead of Taylor Swift tickets, you're scoring an empty aisle away from the snoring dude in 18C. Window seats. Beauty or trap? Window seats look dreamy. Clouds, photos, maybe a sunset or two. But beneath that dreamy view is a sneaky trap. Boarding first means sitting longest, which means being pinned down by the knees of two strangers while breathing recycled backpack air during boarding chaos. Need the restroom? Brace for a yoga routine to climb over legs, tray tables, and emotional boundaries. Aisle seats board last and escape first. They're the unsung heroes: freedom to move, access to overhead bins, and a smooth exit strategy. As for the view, it's magical for 5 minutes. After that, blue sky, and existential dread. Choose for function, not Instagram. Upgrades aren't luck, they're strategy. The upgrade game is less about miracles and more about behavior. Forget complaining at the gate. That earns nothing but middle seat punishment. Instead, be early, polite, and presentable. Yes, appearance counts. Look like someone who manages a retirement account, not someone who just sprinted through Terminal C. Solo travelers often win surprise upgrades. Why? They're easier to move around. If a last-minute reshuffle is needed, sliding one person up is far simpler than moving a family of 4. Use the right language. Quietly tell the agent you're flexible if they need to balance the load. That's code for, move me if you need someone to fill that unexpected gap in business class. Airline staff are human. Treat them with respect, and your odds go way up. The seat map, lie, the phantom passengers. Here's a twist airlines will never admit. Those taken seats you see during booking? Many aren't real. They're phantom blocks placed by algorithms to create a false sense of scarcity. When a flight looks full, more passengers pay to upgrade. It's psychological marketing at 35,000 feet. The real move is checking back 12 to 24 hours before departure. Many of those booked seats disappear, revealing prime spots suddenly up for grabs, for free. Traveling solo, choose an aisle next to an empty middle. Those are filled last. You might end up with a surprise row to yourself, an accidental upgrade in the form of space. Unless, of course, a baby gets reassigned next to you for balance, in which case your karma points roll over to the next flight. Exit row, more myth than marvel. Exit rows get hyped as the land of legroom, but read the fine print. Yes, there's space for your knees, but the seats often don't recline. The tray tables, smaller, the armrests, bolted tight like medieval armor, and you're now part of the unofficial safety team. Flight attendants will politely quiz you about lifting 50-pound doors while everyone else gets their ginger ale. If you nap like a rock or just want to binge your show in peace, this seat may turn on you quickly. You're not lounging, you're volunteering. Unless legroom trumps all other forms of comfort in your personal hierarchy, think twice. Sometimes responsibility ruins relaxation. Because here's the twist. Some exit rows look luxurious, but feel like punishment chairs from an old arcade. Armrests locked down like prison gates. Legroom, sure, but width? Gone. And no reclining means sitting upright like you're being interviewed for a security clearance. You get the illusion of space with none of the softness. Try watching a movie while the guy across the aisle stretches his limbs into your dreams. Also, tray tables in the armrest? Wobbly. Tiny. Your laptop might as well sit on your knees. Want to sleep? Hope your head enjoys gravity because recline doesn't exist here. And during turbulence, you'll be the first one flight attendants eye for help. They say it nicely, but the subtext is, hope you're ready to save lives. Not exactly the spa day you had in mind. Worse, some passengers seek exit row seats thinking they're getting an upgrade. Instead, they get a job description. So unless your legs need freedom more than your soul needs rest, think before clicking that exit row available button. Comfort isn't just space, it's the right to do absolutely nothing. Middle seat madness, survival tactics. The dreaded middle seat, a space known as traveler purgatory, elbow wars, awkward angles, 1 degree too warm. It's the worst of both worlds, squeezed between strangers and denied the perks of window or aisle. It's the seat no one chooses, only receives, a punishment handed down by fate, or worse, by late check-in. There's no escape, no stretch, and no claiming territory without diplomacy. Every move feels strategic. Every snack maneuver is a balancing act. Need to reach the bag under the seat? Prepare for acrobatics? Try sleeping? Good luck finding a neck angle that doesn't scream chiropractor. The tray table feels smaller, like the plane itself is mocking the experience. Then there's the unspoken social tightrope. Breathe too loud, and you're the villain. Lean too much, and you're invading airspace. It's a masterclass in personal space management. Suddenly, sipping water feels like a high-stakes operation. Even watching a movie becomes a test of coordination. 2 elbows, 1 dream. And headphones? They're your only true sanctuary. But even they can't drown out the coughing fit 2 inches to your left. Add turbulence, and now you're bouncing in a sandwich of regrets. And yet, there are rules. A middle seat passenger is owed both armrests. Not as a luxury, as reparations for being there in the first place. So if you're on the aisle or window next to someone in the middle, be kind. Let them have the armrests. It's not generosity, it's good flight karma. Offer them the last cookie. Smile. Nod. Respect the struggle. Because someday, the algorithm will spin and the cursed middle will call your name. When that day comes, you'll want every ounce of sympathy you paid forward. Middle seat warriors don't just endure. They survive. They adapt. They earn their wings the hard way. Couples' clever trick. The personal row gamble. Flying as a couple? Here's how to cheat the system, legally. Book the window and aisle in the same row, leaving the middle open. Airlines fill middle seats last. If the flight isn't full, boom, you've got your own private row. Even if someone ends up between you, chances are they'll trade for an aisle. Either way, you win. Extra tip, book this setup closer to the back of the plane. Those rows fill slower, and your odds of keeping that middle space skyrocket. It's romance, rebellion, and real estate, all in one slick move. Motion sickness? Choose wisely. For those sensitive to motion, seat placement is survival. The smoothest ride? Over the wings. That's the plane's center of gravity. Less bounce, less swing. The tail? It's a pendulum during turbulence. The nose bounces like a basketball. Stay away unless your stomach likes challenges. Mid-plane aisle seats are the ticket. Bring ginger chews, skip caffeine, and focus on the horizon if things get bumpy. Even seasoned pilots get queasy sometimes. It's not weakness, it's physics. Fly smarter, not sicker. So that's the unfiltered truth about airline seat selection. A quiet war happening behind every booking screen. Some seats are traps dressed as upgrades. Some upgrades are unlocked by kindness. And some rows hide luxury in plain sight. Forget everything glossy airline commercials promised. The real perks are found in the details, the seat maps, and the seat science airlines pray passengers never discover. If this seat hack survival guide just saved your knees, sanity, or travel budget, hit that like button. Smash subscribe so you never miss the travel tips airlines wish stayed buried. Drop an airplane in the comments and share your worst seat horror story, from back row flush nightmares to crying baby bassinet surprises. Fly smart, laugh loud, and may your next boarding pass lead you straight to the seat airlines tried to hide.